Please recite a loud salawat. I request Brother Abbas Raza Asif to please recite Mercy. Salawat pad lijiyega.
قصد کچھ فضائل باقر رقم تحریر معجزات امام لکھنے میں مثل خامہ سر عجز خم لوح قلم کو غیرت لوح قلم کو غیرت لوح انوار معجزات سے روشن کتاب خاموش ہو تو ورق خاموش ہو تو ورق آفتاب عبد الملک کو بغض و خصومت ہوئی کیا کہنا اس نے شاہ امم سے کیے فساد آخر امام کو یہ لکھا عذرا ہے میں بھیجتا ہوں زید کو اے شاہ خوش نہاد میں بھیجتا ہوں زید کو اے شاہ خوش نہاد ابن حسن کو لائق تکریم کیجئے تعریف کیجئے اسے تعلیم کیجئے تعریف کیجئے اسے تعلیم کیجئے اور ایک زین تابعہ جس میں کیا ہمراہ زید بھیجا برائے آیا جو زید روبروئے شاہ شے بولے ہے جو قصد تیرا جانتے ہیں شے بولے ہے جو قصد تیرا جانتے ہیں اے ابن یہ ظلم ستم تو نے کیا کیا اس زین میں تابعہ زیر دغا کیا اس زین میں تابعہ زیر دغا کیا اس زین پر میں ہوتا ہوں دانستہ اب سوا بندے کو کیا مشیت ایزد میں باندھا وہ زین اسپ پا اللہ رے ان کے ساتھ اور زیب راہوار ہوا شاہ باوقار اور زیب راہوار ہوا شاہ باوقار موت اپنی کی پسند رضا الہ اس زین نفوس کیا جس میں شاہ اس زین نفوس کیا جس میں شاہ شین مراجعت کی سواری سے بس آشکار ہو گئے آثار موت فرمایا 3 روز کے ہم مہمان جعفر کو لاؤ اور کفن بھی کرو طلب جعفر کو لاؤ اور کفن بھی کرو طلب طالب کفن کے بدلے ہے اس پیراہن کے کعبہ طواف کرتے تھے جس کو پہن کے کعبہ طواف کرتے تھے جسے کو پہن کے لائے وہ جامہ حضرت صادق بچشم تر حضرت نے پیار کر کے کہا ان کو اے پسر جاتا ہوں میں جہاں سے تو ہوتا ہے بے پدر دنیا سے آج کرتا ہوں عقبہ کا میں سفر دنیا سے آج کرتا ہوں عقبہ کا میں سفر پیارے پدر کے مرنے کا تم غم نہ کھائیو مظلومی حسین پر صبح مظلومی حسین پر صبح ہے قصد کچھ فضائل باقر رقم کروں
برائے خوشنودی امام محمد باقر علیہ السلام please recite aloud salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Allah request Hujjatul Islam Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin to please address us on this sad occasion, throwing a light on the life of Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. Salawat pad lijiyega.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Nare salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين ويوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Ya Allah, inshallah, accept our prayers of the Power of Rahman, inshallah. Reward us for our presence in this majlis to start another salawat and gift to Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Our condolences to the Imam of time and the martyrdom of his jet, Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam, and also to all Ahlul Bayt, as it is Zahra and to all Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, inshallah. In Islam, every recommendations, every action, every ritual, every gathering has wisdom and hikmah behind this. You claiming something very big and true cannot find anything in Islam being recommended and doesn't have a big purpose and hikmah and wisdom behind this. And it's not very odd things, because the recommendations that we have in Islam comes from Ahkam al-Hakimeen. It comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He will never, and He never did, anything absurd, anything without a purpose. I was going to one of these aquariums the other day, seeing different creatures, small, big, different animals. Sometimes you see very, very small insects and animals that you cannot even think the purpose of creation of that little creature that Allah created. But indeed, that little animal, that little creature, that little thing that you cannot even imagine, you've never seen it, it needs to be in the whole process of this world in order for this world and universe to function. Allah never says anything without hikmah, and this is Quran. Never does anything abas, he did, without any goals and reasons behind this, because he's Hakim. One of the most important things we focus is is the gathering that we have for Ahlul Bayt, for any purposes. And being recommended, bringing back the recommendations of Ahlul Bayt to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, that why do we have to sit down in the majalis of Ahlul Bayt and listen to the ma'arif of Ahlul Bayt? What are we following? What are we trying to achieve from this majalis? Is it just to respect Imam Hussein, to respect Imam Baba, respect Imam Salih? Absolutely. But just that? No. Imagine the son goes to the father, says, I'm very respecting you, mashallah, wherever you want me to go, but I will never listen, and I will not never do anything to satisfy you. We're going to respect this thing. Respect comes with amal, right? The purpose of this gathering that we have, that comes from Ahlul Bayt themselves. Imam Baqir himself in Mina, in Hajj al-Mina, he recommended others to do musibah and azar for himself. So some people ask why you're doing this, right? The Ustad of all Asatid, Imam Baqir, he himself, he orders that, in Mina to recite musibah for himself, for his majlis. Why? When you look, you see that to keep his messages alive, to show that he has been oppressed by some groups, to show that you have to keep his teachings alive and to follow. Who has been, the biggest question the Imam wants to always see and answer and have the answer is that, who actually, not who killed Imam, who martyred Imam, what category, what direction, what culture killed and martyred Imam. Apparently there is one person by the name of Yazid and Muawiyah and Hisham and Bani Abbas and so forth, that they killed Imam Hussein. But they are way smaller and weaker than doing these things. When you look at them, you see that they are a culture behind them. You see that Yazid and Bani Umayyah, Bani Abbas and Hisham, and they are the representative of a culture behind them. The culture of Kufr. As Ahlul Bayt are the representative of the culture of Haqq. So don't look at Imam Hussein, don't look at Imam Baqir as someone in that specific region in Medina at that specific time. After the demise of Rasulullah, two people they had issue that he killed the other one. By the way, Imam Salih and Imam Baqir were very good people and very right. That's not the fact. They were the representative of Haqq and Batil at their time. As it is today, and it will be to the end of the world, the confrontation of Haqq and Batil. Imam is saying that, keep my musibah, my majlis, as you are following the recommendation of Imam. You're doing azar and musibah, not because you like that culturally to do this. It's a recommendation of Ahlul Bayt. Imam Baqir, someone comes to his house and recites the musibah of Imam Hussein. And it looks like he's doing it very formally. Imam Baqir says, what are you doing? Recite the musibah as you're reciting for the musibah of your beloved one, the loved ones. How do you recite it? You don't sit down, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You hit yourself. You can't control yourself in the musibah of your parents, in the musibah of your siblings. Isn't it this way? Do it this way for Imam Hussein, right? Why? What is this symbol? Someone is starting, what is it? To keep this alive. To remember and remind themselves throughout this majalis. That's why Imam is saying that we need to do that, to show to us the characteristics of Haqq and Batil. Throughout the whole world, until now and to the end of the time, and it's getting worse and worse. Unfortunately, the voice of Batil is usually higher and louder than Haqq and truth. Why? Different reasons. One, the people of Haqq the Ahl of Haqq, they are shy to announce what is Haqq. But people of Batil, they're not shy to announce their Batil in their Batil. Look at right now. People who are doing Batil, people that it comes to different things, nudity and different propagation and everything, they're not feeling any shyness or anything. Sometimes it's against the whole nature of human being. Sometimes their nature is making it and is saying this is wrong and we are away from it, but they make something in the society as something very normal. And every day that goes by becomes more normal. They're not shy in their batil to say this is batil. But us, when we want to say we're Muslim, we're hijabi, we eat halal, we don't go to that party, we don't... What if people make fun of us? Remember that every single one of us, we are the representative of haq and batil as well. As our imams were the representative, we are the representative. You go to the university, you go to school, you go to work, your name attaches you to what? To your mind, to your belief system, to Islam. Your hijab does the same thing. Your name does the same thing. You become the representative of that. If you be having a bad temper, if you're not treating others nicely, if you are the representative of that mindset, says he is Muslim, by the way, look at that. On the other side, you be nice. You become a neighbor that when you want to leave that neighborhood, the whole neighbors come and cry, we're going to come after you, we're going to come with you. You know, some people, it happens. A Muslim neighbor among all non-Muslim, the family wanted to move out, the whole neighborhood came and crying, where are you going? No, you shouldn't go. What happens? The behavior, the akhlaq, she was the representative of Maktab of Haqq, Maktab of Ahlul Bayt and Qur'an. Every single of us, we have this opportunity. And we have this responsibility that we have. And we have to take it and keep it very, actually serious for ourselves and transfer this to our children. Oh, my children are going to dad's school. I know this is not a good school, but mashallah, they're not teaching anything, against this and that to them. Everything is... They're teaching them different things, different school of thought. I'm like, you're satisfied your children become liberal, totally liberal Muslim. So when it comes to the Islam and Ahlul Bayt, yeah, mashallah, they're very good people, alhamdulillah, but they don't feel passionate to defend. They don't feel this heat of the hararat of Imam Hussein and Ahlul Bayt. Put it away. What is it? Because you make them liberal. Because when it comes to education, and when it comes to the spirituality, you thought they're against each other. You first focus on what? Spirituality. You focus on education, right? Education with the secular meaning, by the way. Doesn't matter what is school, what it is. Just go, inshallah, because this school had more graduates to go to regularly. That's it. And then when they become 15, 20 years, Mullah says, officer school, what happened? What happened? 20 years, what did happen? You did it. So are we going to do miracle right now? I'm not saying there's no hope, but we have to be more careful. We are the representative of Haqq and Batil here. That's why when we sit here, we keep learning about the ma'arif of the maktab of Haqq from Ahlul Bayt. We want to update ourselves, keep updating. How many of you guys are professional men and women here, right? How many times you have training sessions during the month and week? Your work. You have to, it's mandatory. This new product came, you have to go up. I said that once. I had a barber friend, he said, every week we have a training session. There's a new shampoo comes, we have to know what is the effect of that. I'm like, you have once a week training, I don't have for myself. And I don't know anything about Islam, I'm not updating. What I know about Islam, 45 years ago, my father took me in one of the, majalis somewhere, I heard something about Islam, and that's my base on Islam. I'm not updating myself. With all this shubha that comes. The majlis of Ahlul Bayt are educational, academic, spiritual gathering and setting to update your knowledge. To learn more about these things. To update your antivirus. So when the attack comes, when the threat comes, you're always immune. You're already immune from these things. When you look at it. And it's not just by knowledge and education. Knowledge and education by itself, throw it out. You need to attach it to spirituality. You need to attach it to the musibah of Ahlul Bayt. You need to attach it to the Quran for Ahlul Bayt. You need to attach it to hitting your chest for a moment. Knowledge by itself. Many people, they started reading and they studied years and years. This guy went, all the Muslim books. They read it and they didn't get anywhere. How many scientists we have, the most professional scientists that don't even believe in Allah? What they have seen in the power, what they have seen in the creation of Allah, me and you have never seen. We just see one little ant, subhanallah, who created this? They have seen something in the labs and out there in the sky that we have never seen, but they don't, this heart doesn't move. So education by itself doesn't work. You need this spirituality. You need this majlis. You need this environment. Why do we have to come here, mashallah, online, YouTube, inshallah, majalis, education centers, lectures? I said that to one of the brothers, says, why don't you buy perfumes online? Those perfumes that you never smelled. Huh? Go buy them online. Would you do that? You have to smell it yourself. The environment would affect. Even psychology says, nature and nurture. The environment would affect that person. The ma'arif. Very quickly, inshallah, one hadith, beautiful hadith from our beloved Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. See the level of ma'arif and knowledge of Ahlul Bayt. Look at this. I am sure 100%. I'm going to claim something. Every single one of us were sitting here. Kids, adults, everyone, men and women, they will need this hadith, and this hadith, either whole part or some parts of this hadith are about you. I've never said this about other things. Bismillah ar-Rahman, this is in Tuhaf al-Ulum. Imam Baqir says, Ya Jabir, to you, one of the greatest companions. Ya Jabir, usika bi-khams. I recommend you to 5 things. Remember, because I want to ask you, by the way. You know that every 2-3, I want to ask you what was the other one. Usika bi-khams. 5 things I recommend you to these 5 things. You need to observe these 5 things. Number 1, in ظُلِمْتَ فَلَا تُظْلِمْ. If they oppressed you, you do not oppress others. In parentheses, we're not talking about official zalimin and oppressors. Otherwise, you have to stand in front of them. Someone is violating the right. Someone who has the characteristics of zulm and oppression, it's haram for you to be quiet in front of that person. This is about family issues, random zulm, random, you know what I mean? Otherwise, with the big zalimin, hayhat minna, in dhulim tafalatu. Yes, someone talked bad about you. Yes, someone took your right. Yes, someone took your land back at home. Yes, so and so happened. Yes, that brother, yeah, that sister said something. They did oppress you, right? They oppress you. You don't do it. You know how much power you need to have? That someone oppress you, talk bad about you, you heard. And you go back in front of them, say, oh, as if nothing happened. As if I didn't even hear about this. You know how much power of mind you need? You need what it will do to your iman to be at that level. That you control this wild horse, this wavy storm and wavy, ocean that comes to take everything with you, and anger comes, you control yourself. And put it develop. Specifically, the most important, and we're going to talk about this. Who is worse? What kind of zulm is worse than zulm and oppression towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If you oppress yourself, you oppress Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He says don't. Why people, if you ask anyone, is oppression is good? They say no. You go to the worst zalim and oppressor, says, is it good? No, astaghfirullah, not that. Why? Let me share some of the reason that people, they might oppress others. Number 1, I'm saying this, you go back to your heart and to your life, assess yourself. Number 1, people usually are not satisfied with what they have. They're not qanah, they're not content. They keep wanting more. خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانَ حَلُوءًا. He's so eager to get something more. He doesn't satisfy himself at all, never. When he has, bike, yeah, I'm going to buy, I need that, bicycle. Got a bicycle, I need that car. Get a good car, no, I need that other one. Whatever you give to this nafs, to this ego, it doesn't satisfy itself. And if you cannot control it, it goes all the way to the level of what? Violating the rights of others to quench that thirst. So that's number one. Some people, second, they don't even believe in haqq and batil. They believe whatever their desires come. The majority of psychologists, secular psychologists, tell you this. How you feel about this? Do you feel good? Do it. You don't feel good? Don't. They don't have a standard of haqq and batil. They go with your own satisfaction. Did your husband do this? Don't. Did your wife did this? So and so. There's no standard for them, right? Multiple people come to my office. We had, counselor, secular. The first thing they told us, get this, get the worst. The first thing they said, took this, do that. Because there's no what? Divine rules. It's all about my feelings. But my feelings might be this way tomorrow. Let's go with this way, brother. How about the next day? This way, brother. How will you feel? Feed your ego, right? That's why when it comes in front of haram and wrongdoings, what do they say? How do you feel about it? Do it. That's fine. We'll make it a norm in the society. Don't worry about this. Some other reasons are that people make a mistake in measurement, in measuring haqq and batil. When it comes to their rights, it's my right, absolutely. 1, 2, 10 reasons that they oppress me, and that's my right. When it comes to others, 1, 2, 10 reasons that they are oppressing and they are wrong. I said that in the marriage workshops. We had a concept in psychology, we call it others perspective. Put yourself in the shoes of parents, children. Your father says don't go. So he loves to, argue with you, right? And it's not because of your benefit. It just doesn't have anything to do. It keeps saying no, 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 no. And you don't think there might be some benefit behind this, right? Stop. Husband and wife. You don't think that if you put yourself on the other ones, on the other side, you might see something that you don't see it from this side. It's tough. Because when it comes to our rights, we just see ourselves. Fourth, power. Some people, because of their power, they oppress others. Go all the way from the beginning of the world, go all the way towards Pharaoh and others, and Nimrod and others, all the way come today. Some people, because they have some uniforms, they might oppress others. Just because they have more power. Go all the way to someone who has more power to put someone in the jail, will do it. And if they don't have a defined rules, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do whatever they think it is right. A mu'min does something that they think, not they think. They believe Allah believes that this is right or wrong. If it's wrong, they don't do it. If it's right, they will do it. They don't rely necessarily on their own understanding. They rely on the qawaneen and the rules, divine rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, that's why they're always in the secure way. So, that was number one. What was that? Second, if they betrayed you, you don't betray them. Yeah, you trusted someone, you did, everything. You take all the examples, you name it. They betrayed you. What are you going to do? What is the difference between you and them now? In friendships, you were a nice friend. All of a sudden you realize they did something against you. Okay, so if you want to retaliate, so you're the same category. Amir al-Imam alayhi salatu wasalam in Safin. Muawiyah, he ran the war. So if his son did it in Karbala because his father practiced that, he in Safin didn't let any water go to the Khayma and the Khiyam and the army of Imam Ali. They attack, they took the water. Ashab of Amir says, Alhamdulillah, this is our turn now to do it. Imam Ali says, what do you mean no? Well, if we do it, then we're at the same level down there. We don't do something that is wrong. Just because others did, we're not going to do it. Your friends, your spouse, your siblings, your whoever, your employers, your co-workers, they went behind your back, they talk something bad about you, they are going to, why are you going to do that? This is different than dealing with what? Oppressors. Here is the narrow border. Because when it comes to the personal things, we always tag others as oppressors, right? Third, when كذبت فلا تغضب. If they denied you, they said you're lying, you're so and so, don't get angry at them. Look at the level of control that you should have over yourself. Because you know right away that he is seeing this, he's watching this, he's taking all the rights. You know that. Yeah, brother so and so, he's lying, you control yourself. Because through ghazab, through anger, you do not achieve anything. The only thing you achieve is regret, hadith. Through anger, the only thing you achieve is what? Regret later on. Almost maybe 80%, 90% of criminals in prison, when you ask them what happened that you killed someone, I just got so angry, I became so angry, I couldn't control myself, but the Muslims know I killed that person. Just because I couldn't control myself, right? The majority of domestic violence and issues and problems, and even in friendship, go on and on. Just because at the moment that person couldn't control the anger. We're saying it very, very easily, right? But it's very difficult. Kazim alayhi salatu wassalam, if I'm not mistaken, he said, I will be so surprised to see a mu'min, a person, becomes angry and he can control his anger. That means it's tough, it's difficult. One needs practice. We need to practice this all we need to do. How many we said so far? Number one, if they oppress you, you don't oppress. Second, if they deny you, they said you're the liar or something, don't get angry. The second one, if they betray you, don't betray them. Third, if they denied you, they said you're lying, you don't become angry. Fourth, وَإِن مُدِحْتَ سبحانه وَإِن مُدِحْتَ فَلَا تَفْرَحْ. If they praise you, don't become angry. Tomorrow will come and that. You see this politics? Today, we do love it. Yeah, mashallah, so and so, go, we're behind you. Tomorrow we're behind someone else. Ya Allah, we're with you. The next day, who pays more? We're with you, right? That's it. This is an advanced hadith, by the way. I'm not talking about elementary level. It's tough. It's very difficult. They talk good about you. Subhanallah, brother, mashallah, you're so and so, your hadith, your speech, your azan, your aqama, your so and so. And you don't even feel something, butterflies. It's done. And the most important thing is that what? You can rely on that. Unless this is from what? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah would praise that person, right? And another hadith says, the ultimate version and level of ikhlas, the ultimate version of ikhlas and what? And sincerity is what? If someone praises you, you don't feel anything even internally. وَإِن مُدِحْتَ فَلَا تَفْرَحْ. وَإِن, the last one, وَإِن ظُلِمْتَ فَلَا تَجْزَعْ. Subhanallah. If they talk bad about you, don't lose your control. They talk good about you, don't be so happy. They talk bad about you, don't be upset. Don't be upset. Then you tell me, if someone has these 5 things, would they ever become upset, depressed? Would they ever have psychological issue? Oh, my friend didn't say salam to me the other day. Oh, that brother didn't say loud salam to me. Oh, that brother didn't shake my hand this way. You do everything you can. You don't expect anything from others. Because you're following, and he is recording everything. Believe me. He is recording everything. Then if husband and wife, they act upon this hadith, They do what they have to do, not what they expect the other one to do. Well, I will wait what you do, inshallah, to see if you're doing your part. Then I'll do my part as well. So you help me to wash dishes, then inshallah I'll do that as well. I'll help you to put the baby to sleep as well, right? You do it. Do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do it for the sake of getting more. I'm saying to both husband and wife. And some brothers think, subhanAllah, I think this is not about them, it's about you as well. Right? You have to be careful because tomorrow we're going to have, you're going to see an announcement. Imam is telling Jabir, be careful about your internal feelings, the internal desires. Control them. Make sure they don't control them, you control them. So, very interesting that we see this. Look at this ma'rifat, this hadith that we just learned from. I said this hadith somewhere else years ago. So one of the sisters came and said, me and our siblings, we are fighting years and years over a land or something. I'm taking them to the court and so on. So what this hadith that you told me, it's different. It's like, let's think about this. Are you dealing with super, mashallah, oppressors in the world that are ready to oppress people? You're with your family. Take your rights, but know how much you're going to be. Don't make it too messy that you can't control it and you can't wrap it, right? So that's why we have to be careful. Zulm and adl. We have to follow this. Someone came to the house of Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam. He entered to the room and says, Ya Allah, how luxury is this room? Imam Baqir's house. He became surprised. Hadith is saying Imam could see that he's what? He's surprised and shocked. Imam says, by the way, I want to invite you to come tomorrow as well. He came back tomorrow. Imam took him to a very simple room. Imam says, that room that you have seen is my wife's room. He asked for her mahr and dowry. They gave it to her. And she wanted to decorate her house like this. I don't, I can't oppress her. This is her own money. Why should I oppress her? This room that you see, you are violating the rights of others. Just because you want to do so and so, you don't have to oppress others, right? Al-Mar'u. This beautiful story has some points in this. Number one, if you see someone are suspicious towards you, do your best to remove that suspicion as soon as possible. You know that you heard something that they talk bad about you behind your back. Don't let it be like this way. Don't go clarifying to people. Very nicely, calmly. Brothers and sisters, by the way, this is what you heard. This is 1, 2, 3. It's not correct. What Imam says what? Immediately says, tomorrow come back because I want to show you something else. If something happened, make sure you go. Second, if you have the money and your wife asks for the dowry and mahr, Bismillah. It's what you have to pay it. Imam says, my wife asked for her mahr and I had it, Bismillah. And I paid. It's what you. Third, whatever they make, it belongs to them. You can't come and say, no, give it to me, put it in my account, and force her. If you don't do it, I'm not going to do this. This is not your money. If she doesn't want to give it to you, it's not okay. It's her own money. If she wants it, nicely together work, yes, give it to her. But Islam says, Quran says, whatever they earn, it's their own money. You can force them to give it to you. I know some husbands they do this. Force them, no, you have to give me your money, so I will spend it for you. Well, even if you want to say, I'm going to manage it, do it nicely, together, we don't know. I don't force it. Some people, they just learn about, mashallah. It's like, Bismillah, just force it. Push it, inshallah, you go through. It doesn't. 21st century, You have to. المرء يأكل بشهوة زوجته. A husband eats with the desire of his wife. I know you're looking for me, you're waiting for the other one from that side. The other way as well. It's the same. It's the same. That she would follow recommendations and desire. People follow nicely together, mutual respect, mutual understanding, and this is what we expect. Remember that ayah of Quran that we said about Surah Al-Ma'idah, tranquility and peace in marriage. It's about cooperation, it's about being together. Remember this hadith, 5 things. And most important things, do not oppress anyone. And of course, if someone did something nicely, very quickly, in a few minutes, let me take you to Medina. Imam Islam, he himself and his family and his ajdad and his jad, his grandparents, his Jadda Zahra, how much they bless them. How much they bless them. There is no one in this world that they oppress more than Ahlul Bayt. More than Ahlul Bayt. Because they had the full right, the total right. And they did something against them that they never did to anyone in this world to that extent. Let me say a hadith that I know that it will burn you inside. Imam Bawar says, Wallahi, if Rasulullah ordered them to be against us, to oppress us, to kill us, they couldn't do worse than what they did to us. Although Rasulullah, he recommended them to be nice to us, to respect us, to keep our hurmah and respect. Sallallahu alaykum ya Ahl Bayt an-Nubuwwah. Assalamu alaykum ya Baqarun. Let's go to Baqi. Let's go and see the grave of the 4 Imams. It doesn't have any shade during the day. It doesn't have any light at night, and no Zahra around it. This is the pure oppression of Zahra. If you want to see this, Rahawi, what they did. They couldn't even stand seeing the Zari of Ahlul Bayt. They didn't only, oppress Ahlul Bayt during their life, they were alive. Even after their Shahada, they're still oppressing them. When you go in front of the Qubur of Ahlul Bayt, they don't even let you stand there and cry one tear for Ahlul Bayt, for Imam Bawar. How much zulm and oppression. What did Imam Bawar do to you guys? It was all khair, it was all knowledge as muhabbat towards you. Amma let me tell you, Ya Imam Baqir, Ya Abu Ja'far, whatever happened to you and whatever oppression you faced, when your body was on the ground, everyone respected you. No one even touched your body. No one even touched your finger, let alone cutting the finger and taking the ring out. Imam Baqir, you were so respected. Your family around you nicely, your son Imam Ja'far around you, not like Hussein on the ground. His son on the ground beheaded, and the other son on the Qiyam can't even come out. While he sees the body of his father, Imam Sajjad, after the Zohar of Karbala, after a few days, after maybe next day, he said to his aunt Zainab, oh Aunt Zainab, why they buried their own people that were killed, but the Shuhada, the Ajzad of Shuhada, the body of Shuhada of Karbala, they're still on the ground. Let's go to Karbala. Assalamu alaykum ya Abu Abdullah. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. Imam Baqir, whatever happened to you, but your sister didn't see what happened to Hussein.
Your sister was not standing until Zainab share on your chairs. Imam Sadiq, Imam Baqir, whatever happened, you never seen your 6-month-old baby in your hand. وأنا الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك إليك مني سلام الله أبدا وبقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعل الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. See Imam Hussein in Karbala, then say salam. If you don't say, don't say. See him in Karbala, Zainab around him, Kulsum, Ruqayya, Sukayna around him. Now let's say it. Assalamu ala al-Hussein. It's close to Muharram, you know that, huh? Let's practice this because you need this awaz inshallah in Muharram. Assalamu ala al-Hussein. How beautiful. Wa ala Ali, mashallah. Wa ala Hussein. Wa ala. One more time, inshallah, if you have any hajat, any requests, keep in your mind right now. Pray for everyone to zuhur of Imam. Assalamu. Raise your voice, mashallah. Wa ala. That he doesn't have Zahra, bismillah. Wa ala. الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومج في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم. ثبت قلوبنا على دينك يا الله. For the sake of Imam al-Baqir, hasten the zuhur of his son Imam of us, Imam Mahdi. Give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of our Imam. Help our youth, our children be successful in dunya wal akhirah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, strengthen the marriage and the relationship between all mu'mineen and mu'minat. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who have hajat and request them on khair hajat. Ya Allah, those who under difficulties, problems all around the world, provide opportunities for their freedom. Those who are sick, cure them, Ya Allah, at this moment, and those who passed away, send the thawaab and the Lord of His Majesty their soul. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة الصلوات.